Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. This is Triple Avenger Men of Black. Alright, so for Black History Month, I want to do this one last video of black superheroes. So these black superheroes were members of the Avengers. We're going to start with James Rhodey, War Machine, aka Iron Man, then War Machine, Rhodes. And then we're going to go into Rage, and then we're going to go into Falcon. Alright, so if you don't know anything about the War Machine, let me explain how the War Machine came to be. First, James Rhodes was not War Machine. First, he actually was Iron Man. For a small stint when Tony was going through some shit, Rhodes had to pick up the slack. So Rhodes was technically the second Iron Man. And he was Iron Man, and he was doing a really, really good job at being Iron Man. In fact, he had everybody for a minute believing that he was Tony, including Captain America. And then it was later revealed that Iron Man was going through some shit. And to keep up appearances, Rhodey pretty much put on a suit. Now, because him and Iron Man are pretty much similar in size and shape, it was easy for him to put on the suit. And this is before all the nano stuff got into Marvel, with the exception of with Reed Richards, and then we're giving Spider-Man Unlimited the watch that made the Spider-Man suit. But anyway, moving away from that. James Rhodey, who also had a relationship with Pepper Potts at the time of becoming Iron Man, because Tony was flinging penis and cash and alcohol everywhere. So Rhodey became Iron Man for about almost 2 years, I think. This is like before retconning happened. So about for like a good little stint in the 80s, like the late 80s. 89, 90, somewhere in there, Rhodey was Iron Man. Then when the cartoon came on at Fox, they just made him War Machine after he had just got his first episode as War Machine. And so when the cartoon came and Iron Man had the mullet, that's when War Machine was in the comic as well as the cartoon. And that's when they had that first Iron Man cartoon that was on Fox. It didn't do very well. It came out like right about the time the X-Men came on. And you have Iron Man in the thing. And I am Iron Man. That's not the first appearance of Iron Man in any cartoon capacity whatsoever. But for that time in the 90s, he had that. And I think he got like 2 seasons, and then it went away. And then Avengers came out with not Captain America, but they had Wonder Man and Ant-Man, the original Ant-Man. They had the original Wasp, and then they had some other people. And then that went away, and the Fantastic Four came, and the Fantastic Four went away. But we're not on that right now, because there hasn't been any members of the Fantastic Four that were black that I can recall. Anyway, Iron Man came back, and War Machine did such a good job that Iron Man, once he got his shit together, decided, well, we need another Iron Man. So now we have War Machine. There you go. James Rhodey in a nutshell. Now let's move on to Rage. Rage is somebody who I have no idea what Marvel's going to do with him or what they've done with him since he became a new warrior. But before he became a new warrior, after getting his ass kicked by Hercules and getting fired for stealing a Quinjet for Dwayne Taylor and the New Warriors to go fight this thing with the souls that I mentioned in another video that Cord and his ex-wife, Silhouette's mom, whose name I can't pronounce right now, had this big thing going on, and all the New Warriors were there, and I think Cord got shot in the head, some other shit happened. But anyway, when they got back to Avengers headquarters in New York, Hercules, who was mad stronger than Rage but twice as stupid, decided to kick a 13-year-old kid's ass and then kick him out of the Avengers. And the thing was that the Avengers didn't have a problem with this, which has really pissed me off. But Rage is a young black kid. He was 13 years old. He was exposed to some chemicals or something which hardened his skin like Power Man. Bonus. Like Power Man, Luke Cage. It was pretty much the same shit, only Rage was a 13-year-old kid, and it mutated him. So now he was in a grown man's body, but he was a 13-year-old kid. Kind of like Bedrock in Youngbloods in Image. But Bedrock, I don't remember if he's black or white at this moment. I'll have to do some research on that. But for the most part, Rage was a 13-year-old kid who was about 7 foot plus tall, and him and Hercules didn't fare well in the fight. Hercules won because he's 13. He doesn't have a lot of fighting experience at 13. But the mutation made him grow up, and he wore a wrestling mask. It was like a green and yellow, like tiger type mask. But Rage wound up becoming a new warrior as Dwayne Taylor took him in and made him his ward. So I don't know what happened after that, because when Dwayne Taylor got killed, I don't know if Rage went back to the Avengers or if he stayed with the New Warriors or he went with the New Warriors, because by then the New Warriors had 2 teams of New Warriors, some under Dwayne Taylor, some under Kid Nova, aka Richard Rider. However, then that Nova somehow or another disappeared, and they had the new Nova who became a Guardian of the Galaxy, whose name I can't remember at this moment. Moving on from Rage and War Machine, we have Falcon now. Falcon, who is a military man and a paratrooper, may have had a small criminal record which may have led him to the military, which is why him and Cap got along very well, because they're both Army men. So when Army soldiers, once a soldier, always a soldier, and thanks to all the vets watching, thank you for your service, I am the vet also. So soldiers, we know, we got that thick soldier thing going on. So Wilson, aka Falcon, became somehow or another telepathically connected to his bird, and they used to fly around solving crimes. And the bird basically watched his back and everything, and eventually he would find himself at Avengers' doorstep, and there you go. Now, bonus character, Luke Cage, aka Power Man. Since I brought up Rage, I had to bring up Luke Cage. Now, Luke Cage somehow was a prisoner or something before the retconning, or they retconned him and made him a prisoner. I'm a little confused on that, because when he just went by Power Man, it was a lot easier to explain with him and Iron Fist being partners and everything, because they were basically the black and white Batman and Robin, or the Salt and Pepper tag team of Marvel Comics. Anyway, the reason why I said it was Salt and Pepper, before anybody gets racist, Iron Fist is white, Power Man was black. So before they started going around calling him Luke Cage, he literally was called Power Man. Now, Power Man has been basically invincible to bullets and projectiles and even some laser beams. They can knock him down, but they can't keep him down, that kind of story. And up until Silver Sable discovered that he was impenetrable everywhere except for one spot, no one would ever have known, if it wasn't for Silver Sable, that his eyes are the only place that isn't invincible or invulnerable, however you want to call it. Now, for that, he was Luke Cage by then, and he had a little high top fade, and he rocked a black leather jacket, a red shirt, and blue jeans, and I looked like he was wearing Chuck Taylors at one time. But outside of that, Iron Man, aka Luke Cage, Power Man, aka Luke Cage, had been one of the strongest players in Secret Wars. Can't say much about Infinity Wars, but definitely in Secret Wars. And I'm not talking about the movies, I'm talking about the comics. He was in Secret Wars 1 and 2, where he played a very pivotal role. He also was in Civil War, where him and Jessica Jones had a baby girl, which is why he gave up being a superhero so that he could be a father. But somehow or another, he got messed up, and so Jessica Jones had to pick up the slack and protect him and their daughter, because she, just like him, is also invulnerable to a lot of pain and things like that. That being said, this ends your triple squash bonus video of 4 black Marvel superheroes that were Avengers. Thanks for watching. It's Kung Fu number 2, BCMU.